now start with the valedictory function program, which is the last part of today's thing. I will ask my colleague, my friend, and co-organizer of this refresher course, Miss Nidhi Mathur, to quickly go through a kind of a presentation which will tell us what exactly happened in the last 13 days that we have been doing this. Nidhi.
Thank you, sir. Hope you're able to see my screen first of all.
Nidhi, we can't hear you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hope you're able to see my screen, sir.
Yes, I can.
So, very good evening to our respected chief guest, Shubha ma'am, our external advisor, Professor Abhijit Roy, Program Director Nirmalya sir, and my worthy colleagues from the organizing team to this valedictory session. I am Nidhi, and I take this immense privilege in presenting before you the proceedings of this refresher course program. So my presentation is divided into three parts. The first part consists of statistics pertaining to the refresher program. The second part is about the resource persons and their topics. And the third part is about the feedback analysis. So moving ahead. Okay. Um, like I said, the statistics of the LMS or our learning management system. So, in total, there were 147 registered participants who had enrolled and registered for this 2-week refresher program. In total, there were 10 quizzes, including the final quiz. There were 14 assignments. The average number of hours that was spent by the participants on the LMS, the learning management system, was somewhere between 4 to 5 hours. We received a whopping 5,700, more than 5,700 feedback responses. There were 13 total number of feedback forms that we had circulated, and this included an overall feedback form that comprised about the entire feedback about this refresher program. The total number of recorded videos were 39. There were 3 live sessions. One was the inauguration, the second was the valedictory, along with the Shubha ma'am's session on the contemporary relevance of Satyajit Ray, and the third was by Professor Indranil from Film and Television Institute of India, FTII, Pune. There were 13 discussion forums, meaning that participants were able to discuss their queries, and this enhanced peer-to-peer learning and also help in their capacity building. The next part of my presentation would be the pillars of this refresher course, without whom the refresher course would not have been completed. So the first and foremost, our gratitude towards Professor Abhijit Roy, who is the head of Department of Film Studies, Jadavpur University, Kolkata. Sir has been our external advisor and his mentor, and has been a mentor throughout this refresher program. Sir also delivered a session on cinema in the computer age and issues in history. Shubha ma'am, former head Film Studies and Mass Communication Department of St. Xavier's College, Kolkata. Ma'am took a session, and ma'am has been the chief guest in the valedictory. Ma'am also took a lecture on reality, realism, and spectacle, and today the contemporary relevance of Satyajit Ray. Abhijit Roy sir was the chief guest for this refresher program on the inauguration session. So these are the list of the other resource persons from whom we had the recorded sessions on the topics that have been listed here. These are again some of our resource persons, and they have covered wide variety of topics pertaining to film studies. We have had resource persons from University of Delhi, Punjab University, Hyderabad, and various other departments and colleges from all across the length and breadth of the country. Coming to the feedback analysis. So like I said, an overall feedback was circulated, and the participants were requested to fill the overall feedback form. So out of that feedback form, I have tried to present before you and a quick analysis of their responses. So the first and the foremost question that they were asked was to give their opinion on the functioning of the learning management system. So we got a total of 95 responses, and 69.5% of the participants gave an excellent rating, and 26.3% gave a very good rating. As far as the user friendliness of the LMS was concerned, 63% participants strongly agreed that this was indeed a user friendly interface, while 35.8% gave they quietly agreed to this interface being user friendly. How satisfied were the participants with the timely resolution of queries through mails and other platforms? So 50.5% of the participants said that they were extremely satisfied with the timely management of the mails. So we had a dedicated team who worked tirelessly day and night in resolving the queries through mail, WhatsApp, and Telegram. How will the next question was, how will you rate the sessions which were organized in the program? So 57.9% of the participants gave an excellent rating, while 36.8% gave a very good rating. This was the most important aspect, the quality of the resource persons. So the participants were asked to judge and give their opinion. So 57.3% gave an excellent rating, while 37.5% gave a very good rating. As far as the overall content of the program was concerned, including the recorded videos, the quiz, the assignments, additional material, 58.3% of the participants gave an excellent rating, while 36.5% gave a very good rating. As far as the knowledge addition after attending the program was concerned, 42.7% of the participants were fully satisfied. They gave an excellent rating, and 47.9% gave a very good rating. This was a morale booster for us, where we asked the participants about their keenness to join the refresher programs or FTPs or any faculty enrichment programs conducted by Ramanujan College, and will they recommend these programs to their colleagues and friends. So 97.9%, a whopping 97.9% of the participants definitely agreed that yes, they would definitely like to recommend these faculty enrichment programs to their colleagues as well as friends. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you all for your time. Over to you, Nirmala sir.
Thank you, Nidhi. I'm getting lots of chat messages saying that our participants have enjoyed this entire refresher course very much. Thank you all organizers for bringing such an amazing resource persons throughout the program. Thank you for organizing this. Generally, I think, but there is a small, kind of triangle which is yellow and red. So Nidhi, we will look into that yellow and red. What are those small flaws or things in which areas in which we can improve, and we will certainly look into that. But I'm very grateful to everybody for having given such a nice, and such encouraging feedback. Nidhi, may I ask you to, co-host some of our participants who have who want to, who are willing to say some things to us. Maybe we start with.
Yes, sir. So the first participant is Dr. Kamaljeet Chiron.
Yeah.
Dr. Kamaljeet, because I am not able to spot him in the participant. Okay, he is there.
Yeah, he's there.
He is by the name of K. Chirom. I was typing his entire.
Yeah.
I'll just make you the co-host.
Dr. Chirom, you will introduce yourself and say a brief comment about your participation and your comments about this program.
Thank you. I believe all of you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nimalaya. This is not the first time that I've attended a program organized by the TLC of Ramanujan College. I was there 2 years back, 2.5 years back, attending an FDP, and I was very much impressed by how Professor Himalaya leads his team. We were, all the participants were very much satisfied with the program at the time, and I wish we could have done this physically, where we could have come there and met you again and experience face-to-face and live interactions with all the resource persons, because it was a very memorable program that I attended last time. I also thank the team of Dr. Nimalaya, uh, Dr. Shruti Jain, and all the other teams, all the other members of the team. Maybe not all of them were there at the time, but still they were very helpful. And even this time, it was very easy. I got, I'm very much interested in film studies, and film studies is my area. And after I saw the brochure coming out from TLC Ramanujan College, immediately I think I was one of the first 5 people to register myself. Since I came back from that program FDP in 2018 and until now, and even now after looking at how you have conducted the program, I try to emulate the professionalism, the efficiency, and how sensible you are to all the participants and all the people involved in this program. I would also like to thank all the resource persons. Everyone was very knowledgeable in the topics that they covered. Uh, some topics very close to me because I study them most of the time, and some not so much by me. So it was very helpful to expand my area, my knowledge in the field of film studies. Thank you very much for bringing all those people. Many of them I have known or met before because I've been to FTII and attended one of the film courses, film studies courses, the summer one. So well, I've met Professor Indranil Bhattacharya at the time because he was the coordinator. And again, he was so helpful and so lively. That reminds me of you, sir. So, and then other resource persons that I have come across in this, and I was so happy when I saw the whole brochure and all the list of the resource persons, because Professor Aisha, Dr. Sarv Chetan Katoch, and Dr. Survi, I've met all of them. They were all my peers, and we were all attending the same course at the time. And I was so happy to hear what they had to say this time. And I wasn't, I was fully satisfied, and I could see them talk. Only thing was if we could have interacted with them in a, at least a live session, if not physically present out there. Uh, I would also like to, thank all the other resource persons, even though I have not met them. And I wish I could, and I hope that I would be able to meet them sometime because we have the same interest in film studies. Professor Suva and Professor uh, Roy and everybody else. Uh, I believe that many of the participants are into film studies or into media or love film studies and have done a lot of things on this. Uh, Many are new to film studies from other areas, but they must all have got something out of this whole program, something for everyone, but a lot for me. And I wish I could have been there again. So in the near future, if we have the chance, because I'll be looking out for such programs again and again, related to film studies mostly. And I hope that I could see and have interactions and have something to do with all of you again in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kamalji. Thank you very much for your nice words. Nidhi, who's next?
Dr. Rajiv Menon. Dr. Rajiv Menon, are you here? You can probably switch on your video and I'll make you the co-host because I'm not able to find you in the participants list. Dr. Rajiv Menon. Then I would request.
I can see Anubha.
Yeah. I will make. Okay, so Dr. Anubha, you can unmute yourself, please. Dr. Anubha Mukherjee.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
And this was a brilliant session. Thank you so much, Dr. Samantha. And I think life has come a full circle for me. Uh, Dr. Samantha was my teacher way back in Hindu when I was an undergrad student. And since then, it's been so many years of being a peer, because he agreed to be an extended faculty teaching my students film studies. So this is a great, refreshing comeback. And the best thing I think happened during the pandemic, Dr. Nirmalo, is that you could get all these stalwarts to speak to us and address us, which is sometimes very difficult to coordinate in terms of physical travel, though we were missing out on the physical interactions, and we were missing out talking to the panelists. That was one of the things I really missed out on, this face-to-face conversations. And thank you so much, Professor Shubha. It was an excellent presentation, both the presentations. And I'll go around recommending this. I just wanted to share a couple of anecdotes. We students and teachers of English literature, we are a community who have stayed in Delhi, watched films together. I remember bumping into my teacher, Dr. Samantha, in a British Council screening of Women in Love while I was grappling with Laurentian's text. And my mother was escorting me to British Council for the screening. And I think all these Bengali parents think that their kids should be taken to all these literary forums and cinemas. Until my mother realized, okay, what are we watching here? And I had bumped into Dr. Samantha, who was seated in this dark auditorium, glued to the screen, oblivious to everyone around him. And I was so excited. My teacher is here, and I'm telling my mother, my teacher is here, and my mother shushing me and saying, and because what's happening on the screen and what I'm excited about are absolutely. So she says, she turns around and she says, "Eishab porano hocche ajkal." Lawrence to Jani, sorry, I broke into Bangla because that automatically happens with Dr. Samantha being around. But Dr. Samantha, over the years, I think you have been able to, build a community of film buffs, cineasts, and put in so much of work to foreground film studies in Delhi University. I remember when you launched a paper. So I'm really glad that this platform has happened and so many of us are benefiting from it. Some seminal presentations by the resource persons. And I hope that my students will come and attend this one of these days. I kept telling Dr. Samantha, I need a certificate, because these days they're asking for certificates of having attended, participated, spoken, whatever. So, I'm here mainly for a certificate, but what I got in bonus was absolutely stupendous. So thanks to everyone.
So if you've done your quiz and your assignments, you will get the certificate. Don't worry.
Yeah. I hope I have done them.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for everything.
Thanks, Nidhi.
And congratulations to TLC. Let's keep continuing with film studies as one of the main courses, refresher courses for the peer group of the cineasts.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Anubhav. Yes, Nidhi.
Then I would like to invite Ms. Devika Samantha to say a few words, to give her feedback about this.
There's Devika. Devika, you can introduce yourself and then say.
Can you unmute yourself now?
Yeah. Now I can. Yeah. For some reason, I was not able to unmute myself. So I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, you're audible.
Right. I thank you. I must begin by first thanking Ramanujan College for organizing these 2 weeks of studying cinema. I just finished my post-graduation in film studies from the University of Edinburgh, and this is probably my first time being a part of an Indian educational institution where cinema is being discussed and studied so closely and critically. And I think it's a very rare opportunity to be able to be a part of this kind of an exposure. So I'm very, very thankful to the college for organizing this. I think I was particularly quite impressed by the way the course has been structured in these 2 weeks. Cinema is interdisciplinary, and this varied understanding of film through gender, through auteurs, and I think it came up very well in these 2 weeks. And sound and music, and I feel much of it has been reflected so well even in today's lecture, which Professor Malik gave. So I'm very, very excited and very thankful to the college for organizing this. And I hope all the participants also enjoyed it as much as I did, and found it as much as informative as much as I found it to be. So thank you.
Thank you, Devika. Do we have
no, sir.
Dr.
I think
Menon with us? No. Okay, fine. So we go ahead, and I will now ask Professor Bijet, if you're with us, to make a few comments about our program. You've been, Professor Bijet, are you with us? Yeah. So if you could just make a few comments. You've been very closely associated with this, and you've helped us right from its inception. And your presentation was so well taken. So a few comments about this program as well as about film studies, Professor Bijet Roy. I think we'll have to make him her co-host. Are you okay now? Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Nirmala. And first of all, I mean, it was great to hear Shubhadi, because you asked me to join at 4 o'clock for the valedictory session. So I just joined at around 4 o'clock, but Shubhadi's lecture was still going on. I really find myself privileged to have heard, I think, what was possibly half of her lecture, not the full, but I could watch the kind of thesis that Shubhadi was trying to present, and I was very impressed. I've heard Shubhadi's presentation before. We know each other for a long time, but this was really, really very informative, very impressive. And the way she was looking at, the whole over of Shuddha, keeping Opu at the center, not as only a person, but as an embodiment of, as what Digmaruda referred as, the wonders and exploration of the world, and a certain site and symbol of the modernity. It's really, really wonderful. So that was great, Shubhadi. And of course, about the program, it's been a great privilege, a matter of great prestige also, being part of the organizing committee of this particular refresher course. Frankly, I did not do much, and I just suggested some names to Dr. Shamanto, that you can actually rope in these people. These are good people who can speak and who can make insightful presentations. But also beyond that, also we have been in touch, exchanging notes and documents and trying to organize, structure the program. But of course, the leading light have been Dr. Shamanto. And for a long time now, I have been in touch with you. I have been in Delhi presenting at one of the refresher courses that was organized earlier by TLC Ramanujan College. And, I've really been impressed by the care, the dedication, the commitment with which and seriousness with which they organize and take its faculty training programs. And Ramanujan College has really excelled in what I call outreach, activities. It, has proven the fact that a college is not only about teaching its own students in the classical sense of the term, but one of the major tasks is to continue to impart knowledge, share knowledge with teachers, particularly budding teachers. And so faculty development programs have been so important for them. And in fact, Ramanujan College has earned quite a reputation, all across India as being a major site for the refresher courses, particularly on film studies. And the other point is something that was mentioned by Dr. Anubha Mukherjee, is that yes, Ramanujan College has emerged as a key site, fulcrum, if not the if not the only major. There are of course many centers of academic institutions who are doing wonderful work in the field of proliferating film studies pedagogy. But Ramanujan College has really occupied and is known as a major uh, site of of very carefully trying to proliferate a culture of watching films, discussing films, and in Delhi it has earned quite a name. So wherever I go, everybody know your name, the name of your college, and the kind of activities you do. I bound upon teachers who say that I did my I have done a refresher course of film studies from Ramanujan College. It has not been film studies all the time, but some or the other refresher course that has been organized by the TLC and which has been spearheaded by Professor Samanto. Anyway, so thanks to all of you for for taking me in, from getting me on board and giving me this opportunity to work with you. It has been a great privilege. Thanks to all the participants. Yes, I also missed the live interaction, which of course I'm sure that everybody has missed, because that is always better than a recorded lecture. And then and later on you are listening to that. But live interaction is something which would have been much better, surely. But there are constraints under which you have to work during the pandemic. But anyway, I'm sure that you will be organizing more of such programs, and I'm looking forward to those. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Professor Bijet. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the support you give us. Now, may I request Ms. Shubha Das Malik to make her comments about our program and being with us. Thank you, ma'am. Please. Ma'am, you have to unmute yourself.
This is my first interaction with Ramanujan College.
Yes.
And, yeah, and I feel quite privileged that I was invited to submit a talk and then today's valedictory lecture also. So it has been a very enjoyable experience for me, both preparing that video lecture as well as delivering today's lecture. I hope people have, those who are participating have enjoyed and learned something from both the sessions. And what I feel most encouraged about is that this the refresher course in film studies is not just for teachers of film studies, isn't it? There's one for participants, they are from different fields.
Yes.
Are they majorly from literature, or what are the various?
No, maybe majorly from literature, but not necessary, ma'am. not necessary. Yeah.
Yeah, so that shows that film studies, it has been acknowledged. That means that film studies is an important emerging subject and not just confined to film buffs and those who are specializing in film studies. Film studies is such a thing from which teachers of different streams can actually benefit and enjoy. And particularly teachers of literature, because there is always a symbiotic relationship between literature and cinema. So if cinema is brought under the ambit of the course, the curriculum of literature, the literature will also be benefited, and there will be a lot of, literary endeavors will go in different directions. So that way, I feel this is a very major step, that a refresher course in film studies, which has been thrown open to faculty, to teachers, professors of different disciplines. This I feel is a very important thing. And from whatever little I gathered in today's interaction, the response from the teachers, the statistical response that that young lady shows, and all the comments that I'm getting, yes, there are some kinks. Some people are commenting about some malfunctioning of the system and something going on, but those are such a small errors which can be rectified. But overall, everybody is satisfied, and everybody is happy with the, with the organizers, the way the whole thing has been organized. So that is, Dr. Samantha, you deserve a big round of applause for that. A big congratulations to you for organizing this and bringing everybody together. So I hope this camaraderie continues. Today is the last day, but we can always be in touch on the virtual platform, and we can continue to benefit from each other. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, ma'am, so much. Now I come to the last part, which is my very heartfelt thanks to everybody. You call it, officially, we call it the vote of thanks, but it's not a vote of thanks. It's really a very, very deep, sincere gratitude that I have for everybody who has been a part and parcel of this program, starting with Professor Bijet Roy, who was our external advisor, and Shubhadas Mullik, who has been with us for 3 sessions almost. And thank you, both of you. It has been very inspiring that stalwarts like you, who have worked so hard in film studies, to be associated with us. And this has been really very, very, encouraging for me. Dr. Chandrakumar wants to say something. Can we unmute him? Yes, Dr. Chandrakumar, you want to say something? Okay, no, I think I'll go ahead. So, and I'd also like to thank my principal, Professor S.P. Agarwal. He was unfortunately not here with us today because he had some engagement, but thank you very much, sir, for giving us this opportunity of conducting this course and giving us a free hand in organizing it. But before I thank my team, there is one or two comments I'd like to make. One is that we have had problems with technology, and this is something I've always felt that, technology is always, though it always helps us, but it sometimes creates problems. And we also have had we have issues about copyrights. So these are 2 things which will engage us in future film studies programs, as to how we are going to circumvent, how we are going to get beyond these 2 major challenges in front of us, how we do it. Just as we think that, personal interaction would have been a very interesting or a very useful thing, we must also realize that we were 150 people together for the last 13 days. Now, to organize a in-person 150 people in any organizational thing is logistically quite mind-boggling. In that sense, online refresher course is quite helpful. But yes, I agree that if we would have been able to meet our resource persons, it would have been so much better. But in future, I think I will like to engage all of you in probably smaller workshops, which will be more focused on specific film studies issues. Maybe we can do a workshop only on sound, maybe a workshop only on cinematography, maybe a workshop only on theoretical, the theories that engage itself with film studies. Maybe one workshop only on the auteur and what the auteur means and what it is in terms of film studies. What is the relationship between genre and how that conception or the perception of genre has changed over the years, or the history of cinema, smaller capsules with more intensive look at a particular topic. That is something that I have in my mind, and I thought I'd share it with you because you all are deeply engaged with film studies. So finally, I'd like to thank my own team, which was led by Dr. Shruti Jain, my colleague from my department, and Megha Sharma and Ms. Shipra Yadav and Ms. Nidhi Nath. But I will have to make a special mention of Dr. Shruti Jain. She has been the center of this refresher course. She has been the kind of executive who would look after almost everything. Every morning that you get your lessons early in the morning, this has been a work of Shruti and Nidhi. Nidhi looks after the uploading of material, and she has been absolutely spot on without any mistakes. She has been able to do that every day for the last. So a very special thank you to Shruti and to Nidhi. I must also thank the two technical people I have in my team. One is Mr. Anil Kumar. All the videos, all the small, all the clips all the videos that we get, he's the one who finalizes them through his own software. He works on in the media lab of our college. He puts them together and he makes it ready to be uploaded, and he hands it over to Nidhi. So he's a very important kingpin in the middle, because he's the one who looks after the all those recordings that we have been getting also when we do live recordings. I also thank Ravi Bijet. He's also a technical, he's a personnel in the IT department of our college. He's been looking after all the broadcasting of these programs, the connectivities that we get, the internet, the Zoom links and all that. So he looks after all that. He, Nidhi and Anil, between the three of them, they run this thing. So I'm very, very grateful to all of you for this. Without my participants, without my friends here, this program would never have happened. I'm very delighted to be to be with all of you. I wish I could meet all of you. It would have been very interesting to talk cinema, to discuss many aspects about films and culture and cinema with you. Maybe another time, another occasion when you can come into my college, or I can go to where you are. We'll sit down and talk. But today I thank Dr. Aisha, Rashmi, R. Dharani, Dr. Anita Goel, Vidhu John, Nima Negi, R. B. Radha, and Dr. Dhirendra. All of these people have given very, very encouraging comments in the comments box, in the chat box. I've read them. Thank you all so much. Thank you, everybody, all of you who have been here. And finally, before I sign off, a very, very special thank to all the resource persons who have spent their time and send me their recorded lectures and have participated in this program. I'm very, very grateful to them. Such a program is not possible without that kind of support that I have got. Each one of my resource persons, they are all my friends, and they have come out so without any this thing. They have come and supported me in this project. So I hope film studies in future gets the kind of position that it deserves to get. It still is not a kind of a departments in many universities. There are people like you and me, we have all got interested in film studies because we teach a paper here or a paper there. Except for 2 or 3 universities, 3 or 4 universities, like the one in which Professor Bijet teaches in Jadavpur, or in AUD in Delhi, or in Hyderabad. We don't have real film studies departments in most universities. So I think we are now looking at that kind of thing where film studies becomes important, department, important academic pursuit, in which we will have separate independent departments where people can work and people can research and people can teach. That is, I think we are at the cusp of that thing to happen now. So I look forward for many more such programs, and I wish you all the best. And thank you once again, all of you, for participating and being with us for the last 2 weeks. And this has been an extraordinary journey. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for being with us. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Bijet, for your support. Next time when you are in Delhi, thank you, Kamaljit. Thank you very much. Thank you, Devika. Thank you, Anubha. All of you. Thank you very much. I hope we'll be able to meet very soon. I want to meet you, Shubha ma'am. Next time I go to Kolkata, I'll certainly look you and Abhijit up. But I don't know how to go to Kolkata. I don't want to wear 3 masks and one, that glass thing and sit in the aeroplane and go. I'm not really interested, wanting to do that. But I hope things get better. Yeah.
Let's all hope so.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. Nidhi, we can sign off now. Thank you, Abhijit.